So when you talked about using OPIC for kind of shorter programs or you're measuring progress, do you use the diagnostic grids at all? And if so, in what way have you employed that into your strategies?
Well, so we've started it. We got a grant. Gosh, I think we're on our third year with it. What we've been doing is we've been having students do a self-assessment when they first start the program. And so you have to recognize that my university, it's quite common to have people that have extended time living abroad, typically in missionary service before they come and do their language study. So whereas most schools have a lot of people at the lower levels going up, we sort of have the reverse V. We have a lot of students at that higher level. And one of the things that with this grant, one of the things we've been having the students do is do a self-assessment, sort of based on the can-do statements. And then we have them do an OPIC, and we get the diagnostic grid. And then what we do is we ask the students to look at the diagnostic grid and evaluate, does it confirm what their strengths and what their weaknesses are, and what kind of language learning plan can they create to improve their language while they're at BYU, throughout the rest of their studies. Because it's really hard, especially at those higher levels, unless the students have some kind of motivation to do things on their own, it's almost going to be impossible for them to reach higher levels of proficiency without doing some kind of independent study and exploration. So that's what we've been using them for. We used to do the diagnostic grids. We still do it at the end for our seniors, but at that stage, it's sort of like, okay, see you later. Here are your strengths and weaknesses. Now go off into the world, and you don't have instructors anymore. Whereas if we gave it to them earlier, then they could actually say, oh wow, I need to make improvements on text type, or oh wow, I need pronunciation help. And then then they're here and they have resources to the language labs and other things to help them with that.
So I'm curious with that then, using the diagnostic grid truly as an instructional support. Right now we're empowering them to take control of some aspects of their strengths and weaknesses and to seek relevant resources. Do those grids follow them? Do various faculty see those grids or refer to them or access them? Or is it kind of like, I made my plan in my first year and now I just share my plan with each subsequent professor or whatever?
That's a great question. We're still at the initial stages with this. And so what we've done now, the very first step is that I recorded a bunch of sort of tutorials on how to interpret your grid. And so I have a series of video recorded tutorials that we send out to the students. So when they get their grid, if they're an intermediate high going to the advanced low, then they have one set of videos where I sort of go through and say, what can you do for this next stage? If they're advanced low, trying to reach advanced mid, what can you do? If they're the advanced mid, trying to reach the advanced high and superior, what can they do? So we have those sets of videos right now. We're still at the exploratory stage with this. We have so to give a little bit of context, we have, for our Spanish program, our incoming group of students, we have around 1,000 students that come fall semester with 26 different instructors teaching 35 different classes, right? And so, and then, French is, French, we've got 7 instructors, but it's closer to 200 students. Portuguese around, 200 students, 7 instructors. Italian, we've got smaller. We're doing it with German and with Russian. And so anytime you're trying to do something this big with this many people, we just started in 2021. So it's baby steps. And we're in the process of trying to figure out how to best change, do a shift in it. I would love to have it so that every instructor can just sort of say, let me look at your grid when you come. But we're still not at the stage yet where we would know how to get that to work all the way.